Hi everyone. Today I'm going to tell you a beautiful story from Chandogya Upanishad, and the name of the story is Tattvam Asi, or Thou Art That. This version was told by Rishi Uddalaka to his son Swetaketu. And on what occasion he told him so, that I'm going to tell you. So let me begin. And the simple meaning of this. So let me begin. You know, Uddalaka was a great rishi, and his other name was Aruni. He had a son whose name was Swetaketu. Swetaketu spent most of his time in playing with his friends. So one day Uddalaka called him and said, "Oh son, look, all your ancestors were Brahmagyani, and I think this is your time to go to Gurukula and gain some knowledge. Be a Brahmagyani means to gain some knowledge." So, as Swetaketu was instructed by his father, he went to Gurukula ashram. That time he was 12 years old. He studied there for 12 years, and at the age of 24 he came back to Uddalaka. But in the meanwhile, his heart was filled with, Swetaketu's heart was filled with pride and ego, because he thought that he has already gained all the knowledge of Vedas, Vedangas, scriptures, everything, and nobody is better than him. Thus he became, his heart was filled with pride. So this was noticed by his father Uddalaka. Now Uddalaka thought that pride and wisdom both are incompatible, so he has to teach a lesson to his son. So he decided to teach the real virtue of humility and modesty to Swetaketu. So one day he called him and he said, "Oh son, oh Swetaketu, tell me, is there anyone who taught you the knowledge by which you hear which cannot be heard, you perceive which cannot be perceived, you know which cannot be known?" Then Swetaketu was surprised. He thought that how is it possible? Father is telling that it cannot be heard, but I can hear. All these things he is telling impossible. So he said, "Oh father, oh sir, maybe my preceptors, they didn't know the meaning of this, so they never taught me this thing. If you know, please teach me." Then Uddalaka began to teach him. He said, "Oh son, when the universe began, that time God exists, and only one, no second God is there. And he created the other things, and he entered himself, manifested there, and thus the life began in various forms." So again, to explain him, very simply he said, just think about, just take a lump of clay and make a pot, and make some other things out of this clay. But fundamentally, all the things, including pot and all other things, they are made up of clay. So clay exists. And if you take a lump of gold and make some ornaments, the same thing, the gold exists, even if the other things will be broken or anything will happen to them. And that too, if he will melt all these gold things, they will come back to the lump of gold only, that form. So similarly, God is only one, and he created all these, the various forms and different color, other things, but God is only one. So his son, means Swetaketu's mind was not clear with this much of example. Now Uddalaka said, "Okay, look, bring a banyan seed and a fruit." He asked him to bring the banyan fruit, and Swetaketu brought it. Now he asked him to break it. He broke it. Then he asked, "What have you found?" Then Swetaketu said, "Seeds." Then break it. So again he broke that seed also. Again Uddalaka asked, "What have you seen?" He said, "Nothing." Then his father said, "O son, O Swetaketu, that nothing, because that subtle essence is the self of this tree. And from that only a big, means huge banyan tree grow. So God is that subtle essence of life and He exists everywhere. He manifested Himself in everybody's life. And He is the life. And look, and if you think that so many lives are there, so God is also divided. No, God is only one. He enters into everybody and manifested there. That doesn't mean God is divided. God is one. And ultimately, when a man dies, his physical body is only uh, destroyed, but not the self. Self is the absolute reality. It is indestructible, indivisible. Nobody can kill the self. Neither the self kills anyone. And then he gave another example, how God perverts everywhere. He said that, look, take a glass of water and pour a pinch of salt. Then Swetaketu did that. Then Uddalaka asked, he taste the water from the surface, from the middle and from the bottom. He did that. He asked, what is the taste? Swetaketu said, it is salty on all the three parts. Then Uddalaka said, bring that salt. Then Swetaketu said, Father, it is already reserved. How can I get it? Then he said that, look, now exactly like salt is there, but it is dissolved. That doesn't mean that salt has already vanished. I mean, it is there, it is existing. Similarly, God is existing everywhere. Only one thing, that subtle essence of life, that is the subtle essence of life which we cannot see. And that is the self. And self is the absolute reality. You understand, and that is the pure consciousness. Try to understand your own self, and O Swetaketu, thou art that. You are a form of God. Like various things are made out of clay or gold, we are also various forms. Everywhere God is manifested Himself, but only the names, the speech is different. But everywhere God is there and He is only one. Anyways, he gave beautiful examples which are too much philosophical, and I think this much is enough to know that God pervades everywhere and He is only one, no second God is there. And our own self is known as the pure consciousness, and self is the absolute reality. And it is indivisible, indestructible. One should know the self, and it is the pure consciousness. Then only we can know what is the meaning of Brahma. However, Brahma is far more beyond the knowledge. Thank you so much. Once again, I will meet you some other story, and by this speech of his father, Swetaketu was satisfied and he understood the meaning of self and consciousness. Once again, I will meet you with some another story. Thank you.